What do Falcons do? Rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, a show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general the sports happenings of the day. And I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician practicing in the state of Georgia, though currently I am located in Atlantic City for a conference watching the draft. So, just a real quick recap of kind of the events that have happened so far for the Falcons. They just made their second third-round pick. So I've had a quick second to think about what's been going on with them for the last 24 hours and just thoughts in general here. You know, we take Drake London, wide receiver, number 8 overall out of USC. I had said that he would be a target for us if we went wide receiver. I'm very glad we didn't go quarterback, as that was not a very heavy position taken in the first round. In fact, only the Steelers took Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh, so he has a very short commute to his new job. But again, I'm very glad we didn't reach for a quarterback, but honestly, nobody reached for a quarterback. So it did screw up a lot of people's mocks who had Carolina taking Kenny Pickett. So what ended up happening, we took Drake London, who a lot of people said was either the first or second best wide receiver in the class. Problem being, Charles Cross found a way to fall to us at number 8, and he was taken right after us by the Seahawks. So again, we needed right tackle help because McCrary ain't, or McGarry, whatever his name, he is not the solution. And we also needed left guard help, which hopefully in the 5th round, because we traded our 4th round pick away, we will end up getting help with. But we can't have Jalen Mayfield be playing left guard if he's going to be as abysmal as he was last year. We did end up making a trade up to pick 38 from pick 43. That was where we traded away our 4th round pick to, I believe it was the Giants who traded back to that pick at that point. It was kind of hard to tell. There were a lot of trades happening early in the 2nd round, but we ended up taking the Penn State edge rusher, who actually I like a lot. I just can't pronounce his name. Arnold Ebiketie? I'm not sure how you say it. But he's had at least 6 sacks in every season so far, and he had 8 last year for Penn State. So, again, a guy that I think could be good. Anything that gives us sack production, I would love. We followed that up at pick 58 with Troy Anderson, who was a linebacker out of Montana State. He had 111 tackles last year, and he was the D2 Defensive Player of the Year, is my understanding. But I'm still kind of having a head-scratcher. Oh, and it just went off the board. So, the Eagles just have taken Nakobe Dean. So, yeah, great for them. They've got a great linebacker, but I don't understand why Nakobe Dean fell all the way to the end of the 3rd round. The middle of the 3rd round. It doesn't make any sense to me why he goes pick 83 overall. Again, he goes one pick after us. One pick after we take our 3rd round last pick, and we don't take him, a guy who is clear 1st round talent. If you watched him at all this year, was a team captain, team leader. He was a general on the field. It doesn't make any sense to me why we didn't take him, and I'm going to feel bad about this one for a long time. AJ Pollack, I can't really read his lips, but he's talking up Nakobe right now. I couldn't be prouder and happier for him. I don't know why the heck he fell to the 3rd round. I don't know if people were worried about injury on him, but he's a great player. This is crazy to me that he fell this far. Anyways, but you know, we're taking a shot on a D2 linebacker that is graded high enough to be a 2nd rounder, but again, it's a shot in the dark here. A guy who hasn't played against a lot of talent in his time in college. 74 is where things got interesting. I did scream at the TV in a number of profanities that I'm not going to repeat for fear of being demonetized should I ever decide to get money from this video. Desmond Ritter. I am surprised by this. I don't know that it's a great pick. He's probably the most NFL-ready quarterback in this group, honestly. And just to look at his stats last year, he's a scrambler. He had 64.6% completion last year, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and that's more or less been his story for all 3 years starting at Cincinnati. He had 108.9 passer grade, and we got to see him play against some tough talent in the Cotton Bowl, and he didn't do great, but didn't disappoint completely either. Cincinnati was giving Alabama a fight through about the third quarter, and then Alabama ran away with it. And Alabama has a lot of defensive players being taken in the first and second round of this draft. I would really have rather us just foregone quarterback altogether. I don't think we should have done that at all. I would have rathered us just plan to tank this year, which the draft has not done anything to change my opinion about how poorly we're probably going to play next year. But then I was, even though we didn't take Nakobe Dean at 82 either, he went one pick later. What I will say is that we did take a guy that I think is going to be surprising, DeAngelo Malone. So, again, a guy out of Western Kentucky, he is an edge rusher. So we've taken 2 edge rushers in the first 5 picks of our draft, or in the first 82 picks. So again, this guy's going to be a dark horse. He was the 2019 and 2021 Conference USA Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. He has 34 career sacks at Western Kentucky, which is a school record for him. So he has a pedigree that is fairly impressive. And again, he did play D1 ball against, I would argue, okay competition. Again, it's not the SEC, but it's still D1 ball. So I'm happy enough with that pick, but I really wanted Nakobe Dean. And I don't know what it is about the Falcons that they just don't draft Georgia players. Or at least not in the first 3 rounds they don't. We're going to be picking once in the 5th round and twice in the 6th round if things have held steady. I honestly don't know because there have been so many trades that's been kind of crazy. I genuinely hope that we spend the rest of our picks on offensive line and best available defensive players. We already took more skill position than I wanted to see at all in this draft. I'm not thrilled about it, but again, Drake London, maybe he'll be something special in about 2 years when we get a good quarterback. Again, I don't think Desmond Ritter is going to be the answer. We spent a 3rd round pick, and maybe he'll be good. I hope for the best, but I'm not planning on him being the answer for quarterback. I hope I am wrong. I really hope that I'm wrong, and that, if he ends up playing midway through the season and all of a sudden surprises us and takes us on a crazy run, I'm not going to be upset by that. But next year, I still feel like we're going to need to go offensive line or best defensive player available in the draft. I already get that sense. It's another year where we didn't take a top defensive talent in the 1st round, and we went with a skill position instead. That has not worked out for us well. We haven't had a winning record since the year after the Super Bowl. And something's got to give somewhere. But anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, rise up. Big fan of the Falcons overall, and hope that they find a way to pull it out this season, and hope that this has not kind of hurt us. But this is definitely not the way I saw this draft going for us so far. Still have a few more picks to make, so we'll see what happens. But again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hit a like if you enjoyed this content. Consider subscribing, and as always, rise up.